Today is one of the most important days in XRP's modern history, and almost nobody understands the importance of what's happening right now. The Wall Street has its eyes on XRP. XRP sits amidst the only 3 digital assets with spot ETF in the United States. For years, I heard that XRP holders were dreamers or that regulated finance would never touch XRP. That already belongs to the past. Because today, 2 of the largest financial institutions in the world, Franklin Templeton and Grayscale, launched their XRP spot ETFs in the New York Stock Exchange. And what's about to unfold in the next 24 hours could send ripples across the entire XRP ecosystem. And XRP holders could be about to experience a completely different reality. Perhaps being the only digital asset with fully regulatory clarity in the United States is finally starting to pay off. As the first day of trading starts, let's understand what that means for XRP, what that means for us, XRP holders, so let's get started. Well, if you're not familiar with Franklin Templeton, they are a $1.5 trillion asset manager, one of the biggest ones in the entire planet. So XRP went on green today. XRP price hits $2.05 with futures open interest rising 8.69%. So we can see that XRP ETFs are indeed being beneficial for the charts. It has indeed outperformed the majority of the crypto markets today. XRP is actually way beyond. Actually, this article is from a few hours ago. With that, XRP's market cap climbs above $120 billion. So right now, a 1.5 trillion asset manager stepping directly into the XRP market changes the tone. This isn't a crypto native issue chasing momentum, is one of the most conservative names in global finance, opening the door for pensions and wealth platforms to approach XRP at scale. So Franklin Templeton seems to be indeed building a foundation. They are only seeding the ETF with a few $1 million worth of XRP. The seed amount is not disclosed, meaning the majority of day one flows will be pure net inflows. That's real demand hitting the markets for the first time. And we indeed can see that reflecting on XRP's chart. And based on comparable launches, we can take Bitwise as an example with over $25 million. We should expect indeed a similar performance, and considering the price action right now, I would estimate about $15 million of XRP acquired just on the first day. And here is where it gets interesting. This is indeed adding more buying pressure towards the chart, contributing for scarcity. There is a massive supply shock building under the surface, and XRP ETFs can be one of the major catalysts. It is estimated there are only a few billion XRP available on the open markets for retail investors, and right now with Wall Street having its eyes on XRP, that narrative can escalate very quickly. As I have said in the past, XRP ETFs alone are not enough for a massive XRP price explosion. However, just like for making a cake, you need multiple ingredients. I am sure XRP ETFs are one of them. Franklin Templeton is too big to fail with this product. And I am sure Franklin Templeton advisors will not immediately start deploying massive sums of capital towards XRP. There are multiple checklists that they have to complete before going heavy on such a product. Of course, they will wait for liquidity confirmation, compliance green lights, internal checklists. Once they have green lights to go ahead, thousands of advisors will be able to allocate capital towards XRP properly. This ETF will definitely not explode on day one, as a lot of people are hyping up on social media. However, it will grow slowly and steady, and then it's set to grow exponentially. Franklin Templeton has its eyes on XRP. I don't think people yet comprehend the magnitude of this institutional interest towards XRP. Just a few weeks ago, there were only 2 major digital assets with spot ETF in the United States, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and XRP just became number 3. Grayscale re-entering XRP with a full spot ETF definitely means more confidence for XRP investors. The same firms that once ignored XRP are now listing it on some of the most important exchanges in the entire planet, the New York Stock Exchange. And this is absolutely not priced in, because 99% of the world's population has no idea what institutional interest really looks like. However, most people are indeed missing the big picture. They will look at today's price action, just a 5% increase in price. They will look at today's price action and they will say, once again, we have good news for XRP and minor impact on XRP's price. However, these people are completely missing the big picture. This is not about a short-term pump. This is about liquidity. This is about opening the pipelines for institutional liquidity. This is way beyond just an XRP ETF. This means long-term allocation models, including XRP, and most important, the integration of XRP into regulated financial architecture. Remember, Franklin Templeton is not a hype machine. They are a $1 trillion institution. And when financial institutions move in, they do it slowly. They do it quietly, but most importantly, they do it permanently. This is indeed the turning point. This is where XRP becomes a financial instrument. And years from now, people will look back in history and say that week was extremely important for XRP's history. And let me know in the comments if you are bullish on XRP. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to see you in the next video.